a lot of anxiety around summertime. This thing called summertime anxiety is really a thing, and I didn't realize it until around last month when the sun started to come out and I started to get this feeling of fear, this feeling of anxiety towards what's coming and towards the summer. I get this every single year, and I just brushed past it. I didn't really take the time to think about what it actually was. This year I really felt it. I freaked out when the sun came out. I was thinking like, oh my god, I almost got panicked about the sun coming, summertime starting. And then I realised that summer anxiety is really a thing. If you don't know what summertime anxiety is, it's basically a feeling that you get before summer or during summer when you get quite, well, anxious or quite scared of the summer, of the sun coming out and everyone making plans and life picking up. Everyone starts socializing, people start drinking more, and it's just a sense of overwhelm and some fear and worry towards summer starting. And if you're anyone who feels this too, then you are definitely not alone. I feel it, and I have felt it for years now, and I really want to share with you some things I do to make sure that I still have a summer, that I still make the most of summer, but I don't let that anxiety take over and dictate my whole summer basically, because that has happened in the past where it just feels overwhelming and you're just worrying and therefore you don't want to do anything. But this summer I want to help you if you also feel this summertime anxiety, and share with you some things that I am doing now, that I have started already doing to prepare for the summer. And just kind of sit with that anxiety and understand that it's okay, that it's normal, and not just pushing it away like I have done in previous years, because it doesn't help, and it doesn't help at all. I think acknowledging that the feelings are there, acknowledging that you have this feeling that you don't enjoy, and learning how to work with it and learning how to use it to your advantage. One thing I actively do is remove the pressure. Around summertime there always comes this pressure of going out and doing things and socializing. And although like I love all of these things, in moderation, I really do love seeing friends, I love spending time in the sun, and every now and then I love going out for drinks and things. But removing the pressure of feeling like you have to say yes to everything that comes your way, this is really important, because then you don't feel like you have to go out every single weekend, go out every single day to make the most of it, because you're like, there's no pressure, there's no one pressuring me. If somebody asks me, I can say no. The pressure also comes with FOMO and feeling like you're going to miss out on plans, or you're going to miss out on spending time with friends. Overcoming FOMO, and how I have learned to overcome FOMO, is just by realising that if you aren't there, it means that your friends are going to miss you. It means that they're going to have a reason to miss you because you're not there. And most of the time, nothing extraordinary or out of the ordinary actually happens. It's just you might be missing out on a nice time with your friends, but instead, what are you doing instead? What are you doing with yourself? Because that's also really, really important and really productive. So removing the pressure of feeling like you have to say yes, feeling like you have to make the most of the sun, for example, and that goes on to my second tip, which is actually just saying no. Saying no when you don't want to do something. It took me some time to learn when I should say no and when I should say yes. And something that I found is when I feel like, oh, I should go or I should do this, that's when usually I should actually say no. Because when you feel like you are going to do something just because you should do something, it's like, okay, but do you really want to do that thing? I know that there's a very fine line between this, because when it comes to working, for example, it's like, okay, but you might not want to do the work, but you should do the work, and yeah, that work is going to make you better. But and it's the same with social events. So you might not want to go to this party, but maybe you should go to this party because your social skills, and you need to put yourself out there a little bit more. You haven't been out in a long time, so it really depends on the context around this. But If you are saying yes to plans just because you feel like you should or you don't want to let someone down, then usually you can just say, but actually, what do I really want today, like tonight? What do I really want to do? What do I feel like I will get most energy from? And answer that question for yourself and then make plans based off that, because at the end of the day, we have to be a bit selfish when it comes to these things, because it's our time, and our time is obviously the only thing that we have. So if we are saying no to someone or no to plans, then what else are you doing with that time? Is it being with yourself? Is it watching a movie because you need to relax? Is it calling your best friend? Like, whatever that is that worth your time rather than like that thing? So kind of ask yourself, what is more worth your time right now? Because I know that a lot of the time when I say no to plans in the evening, it's because I need to sleep. I need to sleep early so that I can make the most of the next day. And I know that if I went out that evening, then I wouldn't have the best next day. So that's the way that I usually end up making plans, around like saying no and saying yes, figuring out what's going to give me my time back, what's going to give me energy, not take my energy. And then this is obviously very different when it comes to introverted and extroverted people as well, because extroverted people tend to get energy from being around people and introverted people tend to lose energy. So also knowing whether you are introverted or whether you are extroverted. This thing is my favourite thing to do, and it's actually taking time off social media. I can't stress how freeing it is to take time away from social media. I definitely have a love-hate relationship with social media, as I'm sure a lot of us do. Social media can really like exacerbate, what's the word? Can really amplify those feelings of FOMO, feeling like you're missing out, feeling like you need to make the most of summer. So something I have been doing in my recent summers is taking time away from social media, and not looking at what other people are doing actually really helps to not get into that loop of comparison and look at what other people are doing and thinking that you need to be doing those things too. So it might just be a few days, it might just be a day here and there, but really reducing your social media intake, which usually is easier in summertime as well because the sun is out, we don't want to be on our phone as much. But actively doing this and really being in the moment with your summertime is going to help you feel less anxious and less worried and less like you are doing the wrong thing or like you should be doing something else. Really being present in the moment is going to give you so much more than seeing what other people are doing and thinking that you should be doing different things. Because when you're truly present, in the moment of having fun with your friends or being out in the sun or swimming, then you feel like you're making the most of it. That's when you feel like, yes, I'm really present right now and this is the most I can do in this time, is be here. So trying to be present and taking time off social media, do a mini social media detox. I think these are so fun to do because it just lets your mind run free, and usually more ideas come, and usually you can really make the most of the time that you are in. And this next one might seem really obvious, but reminding myself that the sun actually does come back and it's not going to disappear forever, because especially if you live in a cold country. I live in Sweden where we have the longest winter, so when summer comes it feels like you have to make the most of every single ray of sunlight, and that can add a lot of pressure and a lot of anxiety. So I actually do remind myself that the sun actually comes back. If I'm going to spend a few hours inside one afternoon because I need to catch up on some work, or I need to be with myself, or I need to, I don't know, whatever it is I need to do that's inside, which means I'm missing out on the sun, I just remind myself that the sun comes back, it's not the end of the world. There is this feeling that it's as soon as the sun comes out, you have to be there, you have to be in the sun, otherwise, the whole world is going to end. It's such an intense feeling. I can't even explain it. It's so intense. It's I have to be outside, but it's not true. You can just make the most of your time inside and understand, remind yourself the sun is going to come back one day. It's okay. It's okay that I'm not in the sun 24/7 this summer. So really being okay with yourself and going easy on yourself. I think this anxiety we get around summertime, just be nice to yourself, be gentle, and yeah, accept that, yeah, like it's gonna be okay, basically. Like, you're gonna have a great summer. Honestly, if you are really present with each moment, then it's going to be amazing. And work through these things, work through these tips, and I'm sure that this summer is going to be great and you won't be feeling as anxious as you have done in the past. At least I hope so, anyway. But that is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe if you did find it helpful, and let me know if you go through this too, because I honestly, just 2 years ago, I really didn't know what this feeling was, and I really thought it was only me. But as soon as I started to kind of talk about it, I feel like more people have it. That's why I wanted to make this video. Or maybe it's just me. I actually don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe it is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, week, month, life. Bye.